glad that one's over. Brutally honest. Wasn't the most fun game I've ever been a part of, but I'm really proud of our players. I mean, it's been a hell of a 2 weeks for them. Not just not playing as well as we wanted and being in some close games and not being able to finish, but obviously all the other stuff off the court as well. So to see us respond the way we did, I thought our crowd was great. Obviously not as big as Wednesday, but the energy in the building was just as good. And so we're happy to put this one behind us and put it in the left side column and move forward.
Thomas and Lindy both mentioned pretty early on that they were playing for the 10. Do you think all the guys had that in their minds out there today?
Yeah, we talked about it. It was a big deal. They should, and we always will. So absolutely.
So the other day, you guys were even or within a point with 5 minutes to go, and they scored 10 in a row to win. Today, you were even or up or down, and you guys had the big run. What was in the final five? What was the difference?
Well, it's an ugly part of the process, and you have to fail sometimes in these moments before you can learn how to have success. And it's no fun. It's no fun for me because in my mind I know we're capable of doing it. They just have to figure out where the mistakes are first before they can figure out where the answers are. And today's win was a lot of what happened on Wednesday. We came in and we watched those few moments where the game kind of got away from us and those small plays that we didn't make. I thought our defense was really solid. We obviously switched our defense quite a bit to keep them off balance. But really the key was the way we battled on the glass. They still kicked our tails. We did a decent job on Silva. He still had a really good game. But we just competed for 40 minutes. We competed literally to the last play. And we never let the rope go today.
You were plus 20 in free throws and they didn't attempt one in the first half. What was sort of the key for you guys to be the more physical team?
Well, both teams are, again, a part of it is a product of the way we've changed. I mean, we can't really afford to foul. And we survived the first half with Cam having to try to keep him in rhythm, knowing that he would have to play by putting him in for a couple minutes at a time. But we're just playing a lot more zone. I mean, that's just the flat-out truth. I mean, and maybe that's something I need to look at more moving forward, even when we have more people, is because we do foul a lot when we fouled a lot more when we were playing man than we have these last few games.
But even on the offensive end, it seemed like you guys were more physical tonight, getting 29 attempts.
Yeah, again, part of it is the defense. Our defense is similar to their defense, and it's a foul-prone defense. It's very aggressive. I mean, there's always an idea that you can take the other team out, and so we just try to take advantage of their aggression by maybe driving the ball a little bit more, throwing it inside a few more times. I thought Lindy was terrific driving. I thought Ice was really good, probing and transition especially, which led to some more advantageous opportunities for us.
Coach, the guys said that they were conscious of the under 8 timeout and reminding each other they had to have that energy to finish the game. During the game, were you, because it looked like you used a couple of timeouts like right before the media timeouts, almost like that extra boost. How conscious are you of trying to nurse the gas tank?
Yeah, something I feel like I didn't do as good a job of on Wednesday, and I talked about it I think yesterday with the guys, that I have to probably be a little bit more liberal using those things and making sure that our guys can get through the game. I mean, we don't have a ton of bodies, so it's not like I can just sub guys out and then get them back in. No, we got to use the timeouts we have, and maybe I don't have as many late in the game as I would like, but you got to get yourself there, and then you got to make sure that your players are fresh and ready to go make plays, and they did today.
How proud of you were you of the effort in the last eight minutes or so? Because it was a difference in the game.
Yeah, I mean, the effort was there the whole time. The execution wasn't. We had some lapses again offensively, which happened to us a lot. We kind of get stagnant. But our defensive intensity never let up. Now they had a couple guys jump up and make some really hard shots. I can still remember Lawson's layup late, and I'm like, wow, how'd that go in? And Coach Sarr makes a couple free throw jumpers, and you're like, man, he's option number 4 in this offense right now, and and he's not going to miss either. So, what you do is you look out and you see the demeanor of your players on the court. Those guys never flinched. The huddles were tight. They kept communicating, and they kept believing that we could win the game.
How important was your tonight? You guys were plus 18 leaders on the court. It seemed like you did a lot.
I mean, that number doesn't always tell the whole story, But tonight I think was pretty indicative of why we were able to win. His presence around the rim, defensively, blocking shots, his ability to battle with bigger guys for rebounds. He's got good quickness, so he can chase balls even when they bounce away. And then he's coming along offensively as well. His game is evolving. It's a credit to him. It's a credit to our assistant coaches watching film with him, and you can visibly see the maturation of your name throughout this season. And in some ways, even though Ice is maybe a little bit more up and down, but only because he has the ball in his hands a lot more, those guys are growing up right before our eyes, and it bodes well for our future.
Thomas kind of compared today's win to chopping out a tree and finally seeing it fall. In the locker room, what kind of sense of freedom could you maybe see from them that they could win?
Yeah, I mean, it was a message that, again, just kept being delivered over the course of the last few weeks, even when we were, those 2 4-minute segments in Iowa State, you come back feeling tough, like, man, we just let another opportunity get away. Well, we didn't really give ourselves a chance to make a couple plays late, and we did the same thing on Wednesday here. But again, man, these kids are resilient, and they never let go of the rope. They kept pulling, and eventually we were able to pull it over the line.